And I do hope one day that I'll climb a mountain and say, oof, that was really hard. Much harder than anything else I ever did. And that will tell me that I've healed. Well, hello, YouTube land. Hope you are having a lovely day. Today, I'm gonna go out on a shorter hike up a mountain called Sulphur Mountain. It's about an hour away from where I live, and I'll probably end up just visiting, chatting, hopefully getting a little bit of the scenery and nature, and that's about it. So I find myself going out into nature very often. I'm blessed to be only about an hour's away drive from the mountains, and take my time, enjoy the views as we drive to the location, which is Sulphur Mountain Trail. It's about 700 or 800 meters elevation. So I found myself walking to the trail and walking through a meadow here, and got a nice surprise that there were cows and cattle at that location, and I didn't want to disturb them, but it was a nice little surprise just seeing some nature in nature. And this hike, as I said, is about 700 meters elevation over 4 kilometers or so. I invite you all to escape your concrete jungle for a day and go look at some nature, frolic around like the animals that we are. And you know, it's not that I want this channel to just be about the challenges that I'm facing, but really it's trying to be my authentic self. And I've been battling trauma for the last 3 years, and some days I feel like I'm making progress and others I don't. And essentially, I get it why a lot of people that end up changing their career to do something in art, when they're really hurting or facing trauma, it's because they want to at least try to make something beautiful out of this world that, for the period that you experience trauma, is not beautiful. And so I'm trying to be authentic, everyone. That's why right now I'm trying to heal from this trauma, this illness that causes trauma, and coming up into nature like this, where I just imagine that I'm one of these trees, immovable, weathering the storm. That brings me a little bit of peace. Whoops. You know, this mountain represents this challenge, and you've got to climb it. Just got to get down this rough patch here. There we go. Whew. That was a little exciting. It's quite the grade here. I'm trying to be careful of. Ooh. Fortunately, going down is a lot easier than going up. But you might slip on your way down. So, yeah, as I was saying, just like this mountain, trauma is one of these things that you just have to tackle. You know, you do your best and try to make the best of it, and your body will tell you where you are on that journey. Hey everyone, after hiking for nearly 2 hours up, found myself over on top of this mountain. Beautiful area. I know it's really windy, but what can we do? It's the top of a mountain, and I suspect that's what we're gonna get. So I know this doesn't really look very tall right now, but it is. It's I believe it was an 800-meter climb, which 800 meters over 4 kilometers, so essentially a 25% vertical, which is a lot, but well worth the view here. Glad I made it up. Whew. All right, everyone, we made it. This mountain is trying to blow me down. It's a very angry wind, I would say. I'll show you the view that I have. This lens doesn't really do this view justice. Oh, that is windy. All you can see is nature for tens of kilometers, maybe even hundreds of kilometers. I always do that. Zoom in and forget to zoom out. Let's fix that. So yeah, I found a little metering station. Obviously for gas, these remote areas kind of have needs, I guess, up in the mountains. And I'm just sitting by this old tree. You can see these old tree trunks that are just sitting on the side of the mountain. And just enjoying the view. Whew. It is windy. So, you know, I find myself hiking, climbing the mountain, because I use the mountain as an analogy to the trauma that I experience. This mountain and this hike do pale in comparison to the hardship that exists when a person has to deal with an ongoing trauma that doesn't seem to be able to change. And so I remind myself as I'm hiking how easy this hike is compared to the challenges that all of us face in the day-to-day world, and some of us more than others. I don't want this channel to be focused on my trauma, but as I mentioned earlier, in trying to be authentic, this is what I'm going through right now. And when you have a condition that impacts your mind, that is a very difficult thing to heal from, because it's like your control center is just completely shot. And I come up on these hikes to just try to be as present as possible, even though my mind doesn't want me to be present. And so the mountain air and the mountain winds just give a nice reprieve from the thoughts and challenges that we deal with. And that's why at this point I'm spending more and more time in nature. And I do hope one day that I'll climb a mountain and say, oof, that was really hard. Much harder than anything else I ever did. And that will tell me that I've healed. And if there's anybody in the community that's going through things like this, or have a chronic health illness, my heart really goes out to you, because I understand the toll that it takes. And all I can say is we've got to act to be able to heal. We can't necessarily just heal sitting at home, dwelling about our challenges or our problems. We've got to step away from all of that every once in a while so we can get perspective on these things.